Media and Games Invest have closed the books for Q3, and today I'm happy to interview CEO Remco Westermann. Happy to have you here, Remco. How are you?
Yeah, fine, Martin. Thanks for the invitation, and happy to be here.
It's been a while, almost a month or more even since we last spoke. How has MGI been?
Yeah, we're moving forward very well. You've seen the Q3 numbers, I think, and yeah, it's going really well. So it's gaming is growing, media is growing, the combination is doing very well. So we're extremely happy with the Q3 results, but of course are already in the middle of Q4 and also preparing, of course, the next year.
I see that you've adopted a new background as well, Smarto. Can you tell us about Smarto?
Smarto is a company that we acquired recently, which is consolidated from September 1st in the books. It's a media company which is extending our media part, which is branded under Verve. It's doing well. I'm here in their office at the moment in New York. It's the 77th floor of the Empire State Building, so it's really awesome view, and it's early in the morning here. But we're working on the integration of Smarto and working together with the team, and also seeing really very promising results.
You have to get a 360 camera for our next interview as well, because we want to see the view. I'm on the bottom floor here.
Yeah, sun is shining here, so it's really awesome.
Okay, let's get to the essentials. Let's get into the numbers. Profit-wise, EBITDA, 19 million euro. That's a record quarter for you, right? And organic growth rates were impressive to me. 40% organic growth. That must attract a lot of other competitors. And talking about competitors, they've been struggling this quarter as well. What would you say makes you different?
Yeah, let's say each one who is working in gaming has, of course, the effect of COVID, and after that of, let's say, COVID, it's not gone, but the lockdowns and things have at least temporarily been released. So everybody had a very good Q2 last year, also good Q3 last year, and that extra COVID effect is gone. So that's something that we also saw, of course. On the other hand, gaming is not only the market and where the people are, it's also about customer acquisition, getting new players into your games, but also about updates and those kind of things. And yeah, we have in the last years been working a lot on multiple growth projects. So for each of our large MMOs, we're doing on a very regular basis big updates because that's driving revenue growth. But we are also putting a lot of emphasis in user acquisition. And I think that's where we really are different from most of our peers. That is that we have this media part that we started a bit over 3 years ago, which is really giving a huge synergy to the gaming part. We are able to just go the extra mile on user acquisition. We save the margin, we have better data, we can target better. And just to give an example, we do retargeting now of our, let's say, console players, console game players on connected TV, which is kind of, they sound strange, but it works extremely well. So it's really what we see now is the synergy of the media part kicking in on the gaming side. And also, the media part itself is growing extremely well. So we had, of course, the acquisition of Smarto, but there's also very good organic growth on the media part. So we were really happy with this extremely strong organic growth, and hope to continue with this. But I don't want to promise this kind of 40% numbers for each quarter, actually, because it's really high, and it can also be that we have a quarter that's a bit lower. So I also want to do a bit of expectation management here. I would love to have this every quarter, but we have many projects, so we will have strong organic growth every quarter. But I'm not going to promise exactly the, let's say, 40% over.
Now, one thing I noticed in the report as well was an announcement that you are planning to focus on governance matters a bit to adapt the internal structures within the company and focus it on the company's growth to be able to harvest these numbers that you've been giving the market the last quarter. Can you break it down for me a bit? What are you actually planning to do?
Yeah, I think, let's say, for a company, of course, operational performance is the most important thing, because if we wouldn't perform, we would also not have the discussions about governance and those kind of things. But fact is that the company has been growing extremely fast. We have a CAGR of over 70% in the last 3 years. And you can imagine that if a company grows so fast every year, it's first of all, you have a lot of internal operational things, like you need to staff up, you need to, that's what we're doing, for example, in the media part. We've hired a lot of new very good managers, but also starting up the team. But also, of course, on the governance side, especially, let's say, looking at, we're now in a non-regulated markets, but we would, of course, also like to move in a few other segments. And we attract larger investors also that have certain rules that they need to obey, especially on the ESG side. So in that respect, it makes sense for us also to grow up on the governance side. First of all, internally. So at the moment, we're running a big project with KPMG to get our processes, procedures, all those things more formalized, which would allow us, for example, to go to a regulated market. So that's a big project we're working on. And of course, that also stabilizes processes, risk management systems, and those kind of things. Not saying that we don't have now, but they can be improved. And the other thing is also on the board, it's mostly German now. And so that's also where we're looking to extend the board to get a bit more expertise. I mean, over 70% of our revenues now is in North America. So we have no, let's say, North American board member at the moment. So those things we're also looking at. And of course, still, the thing is we're still based in Malta, which we don't like, which the investors don't like. We wanted to move to Luxembourg, but we had an issue with Euroclear not supporting that, which came as a surprise, which was totally coming out of the blue, which means now that we are regrouping, or how they say, looking at other destinations, the ones that are agreed with Euroclear and also with Clearstream, because we, of course, want to keep our to continue to have our shares listed and not to have any breakage there. Also, we're looking, of course, at tax consequences, those kind of things. But we will relocate, and that's what we're also working on. So all those things, so there's a lot going on that front. And we'll also, of course, keep our investors all updated about that. But we are aware that we need to do something there, and we are really working on it.
So following up on that, how are you enjoying New York right now?
I'm working very hard. I mean, I'm enjoying the view every day. It's a bit like being a tourist and looking out of the window. On the other hand, we are here with the team. We're working with the Smarto team. And we're also looking at a bit of acquisitions. M&A is, of course, also our thing that's, we do. We did 5 M&A transactions already this year, but still next year is coming up, and also this year is still time to go. We're very busy, but it's an extremely good atmosphere, and I enjoy a lot working with the team. And that's, I don't know if I've told already in an interview, but what I like about, let's say, doing this is the non-political environment. So we're really a lot of people that are extremely ambitious. It's fun together, enjoying what we're doing, building this company. And that's, therefore I'm enjoying it, but we're working very hard here at the moment.
Remco, I want to involve the chat as well because they're so nice to me always, so I want to keep them on my good side. Can we get more details about the transaction price of Arcade to Kakao Games?
No, we have agreed, I would love to, but we have agreed with Kakao that we won't release that price. I don't know, for those that don't know what it is, Arcade was a game that we have been running for quite a while, pay to play mostly. The game was financially very successful in the beginning, but then, let's say, there was not so many updates. It financially was not so attractive anymore. Also, a lot of criticism on the pay-to-play principle, basically, with let's say, if you commercially want to run a game like that, you also need to do updates, and you basically also need to charge for that. So we rather enjoy the free-to-play games than the pay-to-play games. Sorry, and but also the developer was acquired by Kakao Talk. And they started talking to us that they would like to have the game back. We were not really happy with the financial results. I mean, it's a great game. But so we found a solution that they will take it back. We get a payment for that. It's for commercially for us a good deal, although we, of course, said that the game will go away out of our assortment.
I see.
But it was by far not our most profitable game, let's say. And also the growth perception. So the growth perspective of the game was not really that great.
I see. I have another just growth question. It's going to be my last growth question. So there's more than 40% organic growth in Q3. Where do you see the limitations on growth? Are there any obvious bottlenecks ahead?
Yeah, I think people is in the end what's the biggest limitation if you grow. I mean, we have money, we have access to money, so we can invest in more growth projects. We have a lot of good games. We have a great also media arm. So there is enough where we can grow. But what we see now already with on the media side, we saw it extremely because we were growing so fast that sometimes we didn't. Yeah, engineers have to make a choice between working on new things or repairing old stuff. We had some technical outages due to that, just not being staffed enough. And on the other side, of course, we have an employment market which is really overheated at the moment, especially in the US. And that's not making it always easy to get new people on board. Although what really helps is that we're growing so fast. Our image is really good in the market. So we have been really, people are seeing what we're building here. So we're doing pretty okay on hiring, but it takes time. So I think, on this kind of, if you grow with this kind of speed, organically and non-organically, by the way, it needs certain adoptions on the personnel side.
I see that. I want you to paint with your big brush a bit. I want you to lay out the general market environment, because we've seen a lot of macro disturbances, really. Global supply chain disruptions, the pandemic, the conversion to IDFA. How do you see yourself positioned in the current market environment?
Yeah, we are basically happy with it. I need to differentiate, of course, a bit. On the, let's say, if I talk about the gaming side, the supply chain disruptions don't hit us as much. It's a digital product. Where it hits a bit is on the consoles, of course, that are not, the new generation consoles are not all available. But as a lot of people play on the old consoles, which they do, it doesn't affect us. Then we have in China, of course, the very strict regulation for youth playing. We're not doing business in China on the consumer side, so that's not affecting us. And then you have IDFA, which is mostly affecting, on the gaming side at least, the casual and hyper-casual people, where, let's say, we are not active. So in that sense, it's not negatively affecting us. And on the gaming side, we don't feel pain from the disruptions of the market. On the media side, we are heavily profiting from it. Because there, the IDFA is really an opportunity for us. We have on an early phase already said that we want to have a full vertical technology solution. So those, connecting the demand and the supply side, which gives full transparency, which is an absolute asset in a time when identifiers go out of the market. Second thing is we have a very strong SDK base, which means we are integrated in a lot of apps, which gives us a lot of first-party data. And we have a lot of data solutions, technical solutions, which also give us a big advantage. Like, for example, Atom, a solution that was in-house developed. So we're really very well positioned in the market that's strongly disrupting at the moment on the media side. And we are taking the opportunities. And yeah, it's also what you see in our growth numbers.
Now, we're in mid-November right now. Can you give us a short outlook for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I cannot give a formal outlook, of course, but as you see from our numbers and also in the Q3 report, we indicate already, we are on a really, really good track. It's going forward very much. So I expect us also to show really nice numbers in the fourth quarter. The forecast for the full year is also in the report. So there you will also see that we are further growing. In Q3, for example, Smarto was only in for 1 month, so it will, of course, be in there for the full 3 months. We've also given indication already that Smarto is tracking well above what we expected in the beginning. So I'm really happy. Games are doing well. We have a lot of, big updates in the games also in the fourth quarter. Lots of stuff going on. So looking into Q4, with a lot of confidence. And even more important, of course, also next year, where there's a lot going to be coming from our side.
I'm looking forward to that, Remco. I'm looking forward to interviewing you after the Q4 books have been closed as well. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks.